Welcome. If you're just getting started at cutting hair or you're trying to expand your knowledge a little bit to understand how you can make nice haircuts like this, well, you're in the right place. I'm going to get started right away and let's show you how I cut this type of haircut. So often referred to as an old money haircut, what I'm going to do is I'm going to part the top. I want to get that out of the way, get rid of that initially. And what we'll do is we'll under direct sections towards the front. Let me explain that by showing it to you. So using my fingers, I'm just going to take any long hair that's longer than finger length from this section. And as you can see, there isn't too much. This is a really easy part of the haircut. We're only looking to develop this hair to a length just above the ear. That is going to be our guideline to go around the haircut. So right away, this is an easy part, not too much to take off. I'm gripping the hair with my fingers and just simply cutting across the fingers in these kind of diagonal sections. But the key thing is I'm under directing the hair, so I'm pulling it towards the front of the haircut. Now, what's going to be cool about this and something for you to learn is I'm under directing this area, and later in the haircut, just above it, we'll do some over direction, which is a really fun technique as well. So these are techniques that you can use to expand what you're learning and move into more creative haircutting. So as I get to this section, I'll pull this over towards the face, and that's giving me a nice length. I like that length there. So now behind the ear, I'm not going to under direct. I'm just going to pull it straight out and cut to the length of that last section that you saw. And that was the whole purpose of this first part of the haircut. We just want to establish that length above the ear, because this haircut was a 2-block haircut. It was growing out from something that was quite long on top and tapered at the back, as you see here. Now what we want to do is that extra length, that build up on the crown, we need to make it squarer, more uniform, more flat at the back. I don't want a lot of bulk there. So around that area, that's where I'm going to cut, and I'm not going to cut lower down. I'm not going to cut around the nape of the neck. So as you can see, I'm just pulling sections out and working my way around, and I'm taking that curve away, that extra bulk. And that's all I really need to do in this section. In this haircut, I would prefer it if the hair was a little bit longer down towards the bottom and we had something to cut, but we don't necessarily need to. I can just leave it and make it more square. So this is a little bit about the shape of your haircut. This is what we're talking about here. On the other side, you might find it a bit easier because your hand may be facing down the way. That position might be easier than it was on the other side, depending on whether you're left or right-handed. So just behind the ear. And I'll just work my way around to the back, just as you saw before. Now, key here, let's think about the front. We've got a massive weight right in the middle. So I'm going to create a guideline, and I'm going to pull it down to around about the bottom of the nose in my fingers. I'm gripping it there. And what we want is enough hair that when it springs up, it reaches down to the eyebrow. So with that length set in, I'm going to cut it kind of square across the top, taking sections from the front. So my first section, I'm going to spend a bit of time just finding that fringe hair. That's going to be my guide, because I want to take some weight off the top. What we really want here is this hair on the top to be brushed straight back, and to either side of that, we want the hair to fall. Okay, so we need a little bit of weight out of the middle of this. There's my short hair. Okay, I've found it. That was the hair I cut to the bridge of the nose. So I can cut to that length. I know that it's going to be that long at least. And then start taking this weight from the middle. I'm taking weight out of here because it's going to collapse too easily in the middle if I don't take some weight. And I am going to razor this with a razor as the haircut progresses as well. So work all the way to the back, all the way back to the point where you're no longer finding any hair to cut off until we reach that area that I was pulling out with my fingers. Okay, so just a little there. Now I'm going to step over to the left of that. And this is kind of square. It doesn't show too easily when I pick up these sections how square it is, just because of the camera angle, I think. But I am cutting this square, and you'll see it on the other side how square it is. But what we want is just a square shape on top. That's the key. So if you lift all the hair up, imagine like a giant flat top, you want it to be completely flat on top. A little bit more water. Don't be afraid to keep applying water, because look at the control it gives you. It keeps all the hair under complete control. And I'm just realigning the hair into a position that I can pick it up easily. This is going to be quite a popular haircut in the future. I think this old money style haircut is really going to gain traction. You can see how square I am here, okay? I've got my section. It's about the width of a comb there. That's how much hair I've got in it. And then I'm cutting across. Keep that really square, because I don't want to round over quite yet. I'm going to over direct this in just a moment. If you don't know about over direction, I'm going to link in the description to another video that I've made where I do over direct the hair, and it's actually this haircut on this particular client. It's well worth watching. Here it is here. This is this pulling back method. So imagine if we pull it all the way back from the front, it needs a lot of length to get back that far. So if I cut there and release, I still have a lot of length. If I comb the hair down, it's going to fall down around the face. It's protecting the length at the front. And then I'm going to shape it with a bit of point cutting as well. But these types of haircuts, we need flow. You need a lot of movement in the hair. So just shape that point now. I've taken so much weight out of it, it's just a case of chipping in. Let me know how you're getting on with your scissor cuts, by the way. I would love to know. Put a comment down below to let me know. Do you enjoy? Do you want to see more scissor cutting? And what are you doing? Are you learning? Are you a student barber? Are you cutting hair at home? Let me know. This is a cool tool to use. This is the razor, the feather razor. And this will take weight, more weight out of the top. It gives us a bit more control. And all I'm doing is I'm picking up with comb and just brushing across the comb with the feather razor. Nothing too heavy. You can remove so much hair in one foul swoop with that feather razor. So be careful. I got it nice and light on top. I've got it dried off. And I'm just going to go around now with my little trimmer because I want to taper these sides in. Not drastically. Let's just take it in nice and short around the sides. Now, you can see at the back, it's a little bit wispy around the back of the ear down towards the nape. I really want it to be a little bit fuller. That's why I never cut that area. I just left it. I thought, let's try and get on the next cut, this hair to kind of grow down so that we have a heavier line around the edges there. So this is trimmer over comb. You just use your comb and tease the hair up and run the trimmer across it. It's pretty simple, and a picture speaks 1,000 words, as I always say. I'm just going to pick away with a corner there. And then we'll get this hair around the ear, neaten that up as well. I don't want to make it too neat because we need that hair to be a little bit longer there at the back. So you see, I don't go all the way in to the hairline here. I'm keeping this hair, even though it's very subtle, just a little bit longer than the hairline. Okay, real quick. If you're watching this and you're just getting into cutting hair, you need a solid pair of scissors. And these are seriously a great place to start. They're made with a high quality Japanese steel, which basically means they stay sharp longer and they give you really clean, easy cuts, no tugging or uneven lines. The blades have this special curved edge called a convex edge. So even if you're still learning your technique, it helps make your cuts smoother and more controlled. They are super beginner friendly. They also come with this nice leather zipper case, so you can keep them safe and in top shape when you're not using them. If you're learning to cut hair at home or thinking about going pro, these are a great investment to start with. The link's in the description if you want to check them out. Now back to the video. This hair that I want to grow, I'll just lift that up and I'll trim away the neck hair from underneath it. There's a little skill. If you just want to tidy up some neck hair quickly, you can just lift up hair, a little trim underneath. We'll get this hair as well. There's a bit more on this side, a little bit more neck hair there. Now, when I dried this, I want to show you, this is the way my client dries his hair. He puts in a diffuser and he twists it. The diffuser has prongs and it gives you a little bit more wave and movement on the hair. I like the way it looks. I think it looks great. I'm very appreciative to Zach for modeling for us once again. What do you think of the haircut? Do you like it? Let me know. Is it useful? Will you use these techniques? See you in the next video.